Hi, everybody. It's me, Crystal, the insurance broker. We're doing another live webinar in regards to everything that you need to know about health insurance, things that are happening on the ACA side, things that are happening in the Medicare space with Medicare Advantage, maybe standalone prescription drug plans, everything that you wanted to know, we are going to go over today. This is going to be, or this has been an entire series that is for the open enrollment periods for Medicare Advantage policies that started from October 15th and will end in December 7th. And for those who are in the ACA space, with the Affordable Care Act, which enrollment starts today, December 15th, okay? So any questions that you have, then definitely let me know in the chats as you're coming in, and let's get into it. So this is Health Insurance Uncovered. This is an educational event. Now keep in mind, like, we're not talking anything carrier specific, any plan specific. This is just giving you information so that you can make your decisions with your agent or broker, okay? And obviously, I'm with Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to help me, you want to help my business, great. You can, you don't have to, because this is an educational event. But helping me would definitely help with my business costs, and as well as me better help clients, okay? So what's my background info? I was a previous school teacher. I was an English teacher in South Korea from 2011 to 2016, and then from 2019 to 2022. So I taught English as a second language there. And did all of these lovely, cool PowerPoints. And ever since then, in 2022, I've been a licensed insurance broker for 25 states. The states that I've been licensed, or I'm still licensed with, you can see in the picture below. I have AHIP certification, which is the certification needed to talk about Medicare Advantage policies, standalone prescription drug policies, and I've had that for around 4 years. And I have my marketplace certification for about 3 years. So I can talk to you about Affordable Care Act. And I'm also contracted with national carriers, so all over, because I'm spread all over. So I can definitely tell you general things as to what to see, okay? So the basic info, right? If you're over the age of 65 and have a Medicare Advantage policy now until December 7th is annual enrollment period. So if you need to talk to your insurance agent, you want to check to make sure that your Medicare Advantage policy or prescription drug policy is okay. You definitely want to reach out to your insurance agent or broker to make sure that the policy is right for you in 2026, okay? And if you're under the age of 65 and you have an ACA policy, today's the day. Today's the day. If you want to check to make sure if the subsidies that's being argued in Capitol Hill are still going to be pushed, if you want to check to see if you have to make any sort of changes or getting into certain things, then now until December 15th is open enrollment period, okay? So you want to check with your marketplace agent or with your agent or broker to see if you are still on the right policy for 2026. Because now is the time. It's being argued in Capitol Hill, and we don't necessarily know which way it's going to go, whether or not the subsidies are going to be kept or whether or not the subsidies are not going to be kept. So you want to hedge your bets, if anything, and kind of spread your risk out to get other policies in the event that the subsidies don't stay. Okay, just to be aware of that. Okay, so here's our lovely choice of options. So what options do you have? I'm going to assume that I have like younger people that are going to be coming into the space. So let's just start with why you should check your ACA policy every year and how to lower copays. But before I get into that section, please do, take a moment to get out your phone and take it to your QR application so that you can make any scans to any codes that you might be seeing, right? So right now, on the upper left-hand corner, if you want to follow me on Facebook, you just take your QR code application and scan it, and you'll find me on Facebook. Likewise, if you need ACA help, you want to scan that QR code to get into Help Sherpa so that you can start looking at policies and be better aligned as to what you want to do. Okay? So let's get into the why should you check your ACA policy every year and how to lower copays. So let's get into that. So why should you check your ACA policy every year? Well, obviously, this is a big situation right now. The premiums could have gone up. This is what's being argued in Capitol Hill as to whether or not the government will extend marketplace subsidies or if they're going to have them terminate in, I think, December 31st, 2025. So if this is the case, and I think it's the case with everyone that has a marketplace policy, you want to check it this year, if anything, to see what you can do to try to minimize your insurance premiums for you and for your family, all right? The summary of benefits could be different every single year. It's not just in the marketplace space, it's also in the Medicare space and the Medicare Advantage prescription drug policy space. The summary of benefits could be different. It changes year to year to year. It changes in the service area that's being serviced or taken care of. It changes in what the hospital copays are, the surgery copays are, doctor's copays, what the co-insurances might be, if any, if there are any medical deductibles that may have changed, if any. If there are any additional coverages like dental, vision, hearing, and if so, what are the changes in benefit levels, or do they now have a copay? Any other tidbits like non-routine transportation, over-the-counter, gym membership, like what in anything in the year changed, right? So you definitely want to check this year specifically because there's so much volatility. Because things in each summary of benefits, each policy summary of benefits would be different this year. Your policy could have been changed without your consent, especially in the marketplace section. I've been seeing a lot of that where, people's social security numbers, have been over searched if I got them as a potential client. So you definitely want to check with an agent or a broker to make sure that the policy that you signed up for last marketplace is still the policy that you were on. You definitely want to check. You always should check. So that's one of the reasons why you should check your policy every year, because your policy could have been changed without your consent, or your policy could have been discontinued. Marketplace is just like on the Medicare Advantage prescription drug side, they have service areas. So sometimes the service area can expand, and have a lot of different zip codes within the service area, or other times the service area could contract, right? And if the service area contracts, then you want to definitely look to see if you can change your policy so that you're in a service area for your zip code. Okay. So how to lower your deductibles and copays, especially for people who have marketplace coverage. It's going to be gnarly, and I'm expecting it to be gnarly for me this today, maybe tomorrow, but definitely Monday. Monday is going to be ugh. So if you're wondering how to lower your deductibles and copays on your marketplace policy for this upcoming year, you want to consider getting a fixed indemnity policy, which covers copays and co-insurances for hospital, surgery, and doctor's appointment. This, getting into 2026, this to me, I feel as an agent or broker, just advice, I don't know you, this should be number one thing that you should have in your insurance bundle. The number one thing that you should have in your insurance bundle. I understand, but if I will say this, if you don't have at least a fixed indemnity policy, getting into 2026 and you are still accepting the ACA policy, there's a high possibility deductibles are going to be too hard to pay to initiate claims on your ACA policy. Copays would be too expensive to pay out. Cost share of those services would be too expensive to pay out. And so you would have an ACA policy or a marketplace policy that you can't necessarily use. So if you can, consider getting a fixed indemnity policy, which covers those gaps in coverage, gaps in that particular coverage, like for the hospital copay, the doctor's copay, surgery copay, so that you're not having to pay this much. As a broker, I'm really like doing this. Like, this to me should be non-negotiable, right? It's especially getting into 2026. Yeah, this should be non-negotiable, and you should have this within your insurance package. If you work in specific industries like construction, electrical, HVAC, you want to consider getting accident insurance. The reason why you should consider getting accident insurance is because those are really high risk positions. And if you are in a high risk position, you don't want to necessarily be caught having to pay for coverages that are easily covered, like, broken bones, things that may have happened on the job. And you also know that workers' comp doesn't always pay fast and on time. So if you work in those specific industries, definitely do consider getting accident insurance as well. Also keep in mind that some ACA policies have high deductibles around 1,000 or more. So try to either enroll in a policy that negates your deductible at slightly a higher premium. So when you look at those ACA policies, when you're looking at the code on that side, when you're scanning the code there, you want to play around with it so that you're trying to lower your premium cost as much as possible. Please keep in mind that as you're looking and choosing the right formula that works for you, there may be a possibility that you may end up with a slightly higher premium as before, but definitely know your price range and know what you're willing and not willing to do, right? And if you know your price range, also definitely do get that fixed indemnity policy so that you're able to close in those gaps in coverage, and so that you're not having to always come out of pocket that much, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. So how to protect yourself from loss of Medicaid if that happens. So right now, where we are in a federal shutdown in Capitol Hill, the subsidies are being argued as we speak, right? And now there's a SNAP issue with people not getting their food stamps. So what to do? Like, how do you protect yourself if you don't have these things, or if you lose them. So what can you do if you lose your state Medicaid? Well, if you're on state Medicaid and you happen to lose it, there are a couple of things you can do depending on your insurance group. If you're over the age of 65 and you have a Medicare dual special needs plan, you want to try this year to opt into a Medicare Advantage Part B give back plan. The Part B give back plan would pay a portion of your Medicare Part B premium, which could be going up to $206 in 2026. So that would keep your Medicare Part B premium costs down. At the same time, you can use the income saved in your Medicare Part B premium to apply for hospital indemnity policies to lower the hospital and surgery copays. In the insurance space, there are additional coverages that you can get that are called indemnity insurance. And what those indemnity insurance do is that you would tell the insurance carrier that you have certain bills that you have to pay, right? They will send you a claim form to fill out. And then you would fill out that claim form, and then you would attach those bills, medical bills that your doctor gives you, or the hospital or the surgery center gives you, right? And then you would give it back to the insurance company, and they would pay you directly for the cost of the coverage to get covered minus whatever your main insurance does. Fixed indemnity is different than hospital indemnity. Fixed indemnity covers more of the primary care doctor, specialist doctor copays, maybe even a bit of prescription on the inside of that, not just hospital, inpatient hospital copays or outpatient hospital copays like the surgeries. So fixed indemnity goes a little bit farther and a little bit deeper. Hospital indemnity, like the name says, coverage for hospital-related outside expenses that traditional insurance, like your main policy, doesn't cover, like the inpatient hospital copay, outpatient hospital copay, the surgeries, maybe ambulance. I think that's probably about as far as it goes. You definitely want to talk to your agent or our broker to see which indemnity policy is right for you. But in this case, if you're a Medicare Advantage holder and you're losing state Medicaid and you're wanting to get on a Medicare Part B give back policy, then getting on a hospital indemnity policy would also lower those copays and lower the coinsurance as well. Okay. Now, if you're under the age of 65 and you lose your state Medicaid, you can apply for a fixed indemnity policy, like I said, because it goes a little bit further than a hospital indemnity policy. Fixed indemnity policies cover more your doctor copays and the coinsurance there. So like I said, fixed indemnity policies provide income for a wide range of medical costs. So it would be a good idea to look into them further. So in this year coming up, 2026, especially with such uncertainty in the marketplace and Medicaid, you want to find other insurances that will cover in the event, you can't really use either or. And those safe havens would be the indemnities, fixed indemnity and hospital indemnity if you're under a Medicare Advantage plan. Okay. So if income is an issue, and you're under the age of 65 and you just can't afford a fixed indemnity policy, keep in mind fixed indemnity policies typically go around maybe $30 to $60 per month, and hospital indemnity typically goes around $20 to $50 a month, maybe $60. So if income is an issue and if you can't afford that, you can definitely look at other products like membership savings cards or health savings accounts. There are some memberships cards that can be as low as from $5 to $20. And then for health savings accounts, you can find some that are like $25, you know? So if income is an issue, you definitely want to like look at that. Okay. Also, if you're getting hungry, right? And you need to get some food and you're over the age of 60, you want to take your phone and look at the QR code in the upper left-hand corner and scan that and apply for what is called the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. I know there's a lot of things happening with the government right now in this federal shutdown, and that certain places may be hard to find aid and assistance, but in that particular application for the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, you could still get some food there. So please use whatever resource that you have and scan the QR code and make the application so that you can get some food. This is for people who are over the age of 60. So if you are over the age of 60 and you're having food insecurity, definitely you go there. Okay. And what's the next one? So the Part C changes in 2026, we're getting into the over 65 market and how to get prescription drug help. Okay. So what are the Part C changes in 2026, which is the Medicare Advantage policy changes in 2026? What we're seeing in this upcoming year is area shrinkage. Certain plans used to service a lot of zip codes within an area. Now they're being reduced and people having to change plans to get into other plans that suit that area, obviously. We have lessening Part B reduction policies. They are still here. The Part B givebacks are still here. And the Part B givebacks are still reducing Medicare Part B premiums by like $100, $120, all the way up to $184.70 in some cases, in certain states, in certain service areas. So they're still there. But are there a lot of them now? No. Not as in 2025, not as in 2024. The medical deductibles are being added in specific Medicare Advantage policies. And if they did have Medicare deductibles, the Medicare deductibles are going up. Like say, for example, in 2025, on average, the Medicare Advantage policies had like around maybe 275 medical deductible, 350 medical deductible, and now we're seeing on average getting into 2026, 500 medical deductible on average. I may see a 375 medical deductible, right? But on average, I'm seeing 500 medical deductible. Low dental benefits from preventative dental to comprehensive coverage up to $1,500. Yes. For the Medicare Advantage policies getting into 2026, I'm only seeing like preventative dental. Preventative dental is like cleanings and periodontal maintenance, like scalings. And if I am seeing comprehensive dental, I'm only seeing comprehensive dental up to like $1,500. There are certain areas for some particular policies that are showing like $2,000 or like $2,500, which was standard in 2025 and in 2024, but now not so much. I'm seeing typically around $1,000 to $1,500 max. Okay, for the dental benefits. Not a lot of non-routine transportation. I'm not seeing this. It used to be that I would see non-routine transportation in Part C policies, but I'm definitely not seeing this in in 2026. Sidebar: if you are a person who is over the age of 65, definitely do look into going to a senior center. Senior centers you can find in your county that you live in. You just have to do a quick Google search. And what those senior centers do is that they not only provide food benefits like Meals on Wheels, they also can provide non-routine transportation, helping you get to your doctor's appointments, helping you get to like stores. So some of them do provide non-routine transportation and other help. So if you're having any sort of like problems and you're over the age of 65, you can't get to the store, you can't get to your doctor's appointment, you're not able to get food, definitely look locally and find a senior center. Because if you find a senior center, just look it up on Google, they'll be able to help you as well. Okay? So if you're having a problem with like non-routine transportation, that could also be the case as well. Okay? Okay. I had to see what that button was. Okay. So going on, not a lot of OTC benefits getting into 2026 for Medicare Advantage policies. So if you're having issues with like over-the-counter benefits, non-routine, I would say check your local senior center in your county, and they should be able to pick up what is being lost here. So how do you protect yourself from these changes if you're over the age of 65 and you have a Medicare Advantage policy entering into 2026? You definitely want to speak with your current insurance agent or broker for any updates regarding your plan, right? You definitely want to check this here. Keep in mind that the open enrollment period now for these particular types of policies is now. It actually started October 15th and it will end December 7th. It will end December 7th. So if you haven't spoken to your insurance agent, you definitely want to reach out to them so that you are able to check on your area, check on your plan, and figure out what is the best steps for you to get coverage. Okay. Also keep in mind that you can go and check the QR code here. Just use your phone and scan the QR code so that you can look up any Medicare Advantage policies in your area so that you can get an idea of what you want to necessarily move to if you have to move. Okay. So if you don't know what it is that you're looking for, you can definitely scan the QR code there and look up those Medicare Advantage plans in your area so that you can have that type of conversation with your agent or our broker. Okay. Next thing is that you do want to have a meeting with them, go over your current policies so that it meets your needs in 2026. Like I said, this is one of the most volatile years that I've worked or will be working, ever since I've been doing this type of work. A lot of things that are changing, a lot of things that, may catch people off guard. So you want to talk to your agent or broker just to make sure that your current policy meets your needs in 2026. And then if not, check them. Also, if you need to, those policies are, you can scan that QR code and have a little bit more of an idea of what's there, okay? Also, if you have a Medicare Advantage policy and you see that it has preventive dental or a very low comprehensive dental benefit level, definitely consider getting a standalone dental plan policy if your plan doesn't offer that type of comprehensive coverage. So if you are that person that needs to have oral surgery, you need to have a extraction, a crown, a filling, or bridges, you want to consider getting a standalone dental policy because it's just not there, in 2026. I'm not really seeing it across the board in the states in which I'm licensed in. So you want to definitely get yourself covered there, especially if you're wanting to get dental implants, right? Then yeah, you would have to get additional dental coverage or standalone dental coverage if you want those types of procedures to be done. Okay. But like I said before, use senior centers to gain access to food help and other social services. So in addition to scanning your QR code on the right and applying for the commodity supplemental food program, you also want to, look up your senior center in your area so that you can also get that help as well locally. So definitely, do everything that you can to help support yourself, not just now, due to the SNAP issues, but also like later in the future. You want to have as many resources available to you as possible. And like I said before, if you're considering applying for the commodity supplemental food program, if you're over the age of 60, scan the QR code in the upper left-hand portion of this webinar so that you can apply. Okay. So where do you go to get prescription drug help? So say you've noticed in 2026, a lot of the prescriptions that you're on are not in your formulary for that plan. Where do you go to get prescription drug help? You can definitely apply for the federal extra help at their website page. If you need that QR code, then you want to scan the QR code in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, and that will take you to the same link that you see, where you can apply for federal extra help. Federal extra help covers those who meet a specific income threshold, and it caps prescription drugs at $5 and some change for generic drugs and $12 and some change for branded drugs. So you definitely want to go onto the Social Security website and apply for federal extra help if you need to. If you have to, I would say just do it anyway, just to see if you can lock in those prescription drug cost savings. Okay. You can also use GoodRx. GoodRx is a good website to use if you're wanting to lower your prescription drug costs if you're over the age of 65 and if you're under the age of 65. My friend Matt gave me another link to CleverRx. I haven't gotten the setup yet for the CleverRx yet, but when I do get this set up for CleverRx, I'll put this into subsequent webinars so that you can pick and choose which prescription drug reimbursement savings website that you want to go on. As of right now, that QR code for GoodRx, you can scan for the QR code so that you can lock in those savings for GoodRx right now. And the next subsequent webinars, I should be able to show you more about CleverRx. and give you that information so that you can definitely shop around for cheaper drugs if you're over the age of 65 and if you're under the age of 65 and need that help. And also, if you're under the age of 65 or over the age of 65, you can ask your doctor for prescriptions manufacturer's coupons, right? So if it's something that you really need to have, you can ask your doctor for the prescription manufacturer's coupons. They have to be able to help you. Also, you can ask for a formulary exception. And what a formulary exception is that, I should write this down. You can also ask for a formulary exception so that you can get those prescription drugs as well. Your doctor can do both. He or she can ask for a formulary exception to the carrier so that that prescription is covered, or they can ask for the manufacturer's coupons so that you can get that prescription at a lesser price point. Okay. So I just did that. We're going to get into the dental. Where has all the dental gone? Why are we not seeing it? Why are we not seeing it in like 2026? I'll definitely let you know here. So where is all the dental, vision, and hearing additional coverage is gone? For the Medicare Advantage policies, vision and hearing coverage is still there, but dental has taken a drastic hit in 2026. I've definitely seen the change. This is my main market. I've definitely seen the change year on year. In 2025, the average MAPD policy had a dental benefit of around $2,000, and now I'm seeing the max amount is $1,500. So if you're on a Medicare Advantage policy and you need comprehensive dental coverage, it would be a good idea to get a standalone dental policy. It would be an extremely good idea to get a standalone dental policy. Especially, like I said before, if you need crowns, fillings, extractions, you need to do bridges, you need to get fixed dentures, or detachable dentures, or dental implants, you definitely want to get a standalone dental policy getting into 2026. And also, if you're in an ACA policy, ACA policies typically don't cover dental. They may cover vision, but they may not cover dental. So in that particular case, if you need a standalone dental policy, then definitely get a standalone dental policy so that you and your family are covered. Typical premium amounts for standalone dental is around $30 up to like maybe $45, $50, okay? But if you definitely need it, because you have certain things that you need to get done to your teeth, then definitely do get that, okay? And now, the piece de resistance, I think, why are you being called? Why are there so many calls now coming, right? Why every single time you're reaching for your phone, there's like your phone flashing from like multiple calls. We'll get into that. So why are you being called for insurance all the darn time? Well, you're most likely being called by call centers due to you either clicking on an advertisement and are filling out a form to contact later from one advertisement. The place where you filled out this form, they shared your information with their affiliates, in which that affiliate shared your information with their affiliates. In the past, I think was like 2 years ago, and in 2022, CMS didn't try. CMS did succeed in passing the one-to-one rule. What the one-to-one rule was that when you entered into these sites and filled out a form, that site would only share your information with that agent or broker or agency that you gave your information out to. So there wasn't going to be any cross data information being shared by multiple affiliates. It was approved It was passed. It was supposed to start January or April of this year, and then it was declined and ruled against. So now, because that's been ruled against, the general TCPA policy still stands. So is all of this legal? Are all of the calls legal? Are they legal? Yeah, they're legal. They're legal, especially if you filled out a form and you specifically put your information out there. Then yes, it's definitely legal, especially if you're on the do not call list. If your number is listed within the do not call list, yes, it's definitely legal. That entity that you gave your information to has the right to contact you for at least 3 months if your phone is listed as a do not call. Okay. And also, when you go on websites nowadays, they specifically ask about your privacy and agreement to share data. I'll actually, so that you can see what I mean. Okay, so here's my trusty phone. I'm gonna go on to just a random site so that you can see what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go onto a random site. I'm just choosing a random site on my phone, right? Let me see if I can try to find a site that where it pulls up. Let me see. Like, I go to this site sometimes, so let's see about if the cookie setting will come up. Let's see. Maybe just go to Daily Mail. Because when you see it, when it comes up, it will say privacy, right? And when it says privacy, like we only shared your data, da 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 da. That's how they get your data, and that's how they get it legally. So it seems that I'm not able to see it, but when you click on anything on the websites, it will say, we respect your privacy, and you can either say accept all or manage your cookies. So when you see that, then that's how they are able to get your information from you and then shop that information to, all of their affiliates, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So let us continue. So what is the TCPA Act? What is this? What is the general marketing rules that we have to follow, as agents and brokers if we're independent, right? So the general information on the TCP Act is a person cannot call before 8 a.m. and after 9 p.m. your local time. So if they call you before 8 a.m. or if they call you after 9 a.m., you can definitely contact the Federal Trade Commission so that you can make a complaint against that agent or a broker. If you list your number as a do not call, they cannot call you. Now, also keep in mind that if you fill out a lead form online and you use that number that you use to register under a do not call, that agency or the agent and or broker has the right to call you for at least 3 months on that phone call, on that phone number that you use with the do not call registry, okay? You can't be robocalled or given automatic messages. This is obviously a given. And what are we licensed agents supposed to do if you happen to get us, right? If you get a licensed agent or a broker on the phone and you don't know if they're, honest or legit, you don't know who you're talking to, this is what we licensed agents and brokers have to say. Licensed agents are supposed to state their name, their title, that the call is being recorded, and a third-party marketing disclaimer if you're over the age of 65 and you're wanting to look at a Medicare Advantage or prescription drug policy. It says, keep in mind that as a licensed Medicare insurance agent, I do not offer every plan in your area. Currently, I represent XX organizations, which offers XX products in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov, 1-800-Medicare, or your local state health insurance program to get information on all of your options. We have to say all of that within the first minute. If we don't say that, then we can be in trouble. So within the first 2 minutes, we have to say that. So we are also supposed to state the scope of appointment to you. If you're under the age of 65, it's the CMS agreement. What these agreements are, it just says that we are allowed to talk to you about specific carrier information and policy information, and that you are not obligated to enroll if you don't want to. That's just the general gist of it. If you agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement, they have to obtain your Medicare ID number or Social Security number in order to complete the enrollment. In all applications, whether it's for Medicare Advantage, prescription drug, marketplace, any other additional coverage documents, we will need personal identifying information in order to close those applications for you. That's just part of our job. So if you agree to the scope of appointment and we are looking at products for you and policies for you, we would need this information in order to complete our services for you. That's just an automatic. And also, if you're getting an additional policy like dental or something else, like fixed indemnity, hospital indemnity, cancer, heart, stroke, final expense, we are required to get your credit and debit card information or your banking and routing number to finalize the purchase of said policy. That's also certain things that we would have to have in order to complete the application. This is the things that we need to do as licensed agents and brokers in order to service you. So what is the scope of appointment and our CMS agreement? Why is this important, and why do licensed agents and brokers need it? The scope of appointment and CMS agreement needed to write additional products or ACA policies or agreements where the agents disclose what will be discussed during a sales meeting or what will be completed during the sales meeting under a CMS agreement, what their roles are in the meeting, and how you don't have to agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement. It's just saying, hey, if you're wanting to continue looking at these specific products and services, you have to agree to the scope of appointment first. And this is what's going to happen within the scope of appointment. Mind you, you don't have to agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement if you don't want to. But if you do, then yay, we can tell you what's happening on the side with your policy, with other policies that are in the market for you, etc. like I said, these agreements are necessary to have before any health insurance sale is completed. We have to have this document. If you don't have it, then yeah, you can do it on your own, through various quote areas. Mind you, if you need to do a Part C check, you want to scan the QR code to check in your area what Medicare Advantage or prescription drug policies are in your area. Likewise, if you want to do it yourself and you want to see what marketplace policies are in your area, you want to scan the QR code on the right for that. Okay. So if you feel uncomfortable talking to a insurance agent or broker, those two QR codes are available for you. If you want to do it yourself, talk to amongst your family members and make a decision amongst yourselves. So that's for you. Okay. Final thing. What is final expense? What are the benefits and who is accepted? Okay. So what's final expense and what are the benefits? So final expense is a life insurance policy which covers a funeral, amount while being able to offer cash value to the policyholder. It offers financial relief. It protects families from high funeral and burial costs. Easy to qualify, no medical exam required, simplifying approval for seniors or those with health issues. Guaranteed coverage. Premiums are fixed and coverage is lifetime as long as the payments are made. Flexible payout. Funds go directly to the beneficiary and can be used for any final expense, medical bills, debt, or the actual funeral itself. Peace of mind. Provides immediate cash to loved ones when they need it the most. If you're interested in learning more about these types of policies, contact your insurance agent or book a consultation. One thing I like about final expense is pretty much a low cost permanent life insurance. Typically, life insurance that's permanent, we're talking about whole life or universal life, you're talking around maybe $100, $90 to $100 premium. And in this case, a final expense policy is less than that. It's like usually can be as low as $10, $17, and get up to like maybe 100 and 150. So there's a little bit more of a financial benefit there because it's not as expensive as say a whole life insurance policy or a universal life insurance policy. And then the other thing that I like about final expense is just like whole life and universal life, it does have a cash value attachment to it. So in 3 years, if you've made consistent payments, you have a cash value amount that you can borrow against if you need to pay something really, 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 really seriously. And it's not subjected to a credit check and it's not subjected to an income verification as like a traditional loan. When I had my State Farm life insurance policy, I borrowed against my State Farm life insurance policy to get things that I needed to have done. So it was very much so needed, and I used like 3,000 of my cash value for that. And I think also the third thing I like about policies like this is that once you have a cash value in your life insurance policy, if you can't make the premium payments, it will make the premium payments for you. So if you're having like a financial difficulty, then those premium payments would be made on your behalf so that if something happens, you can get back up to speed and make those payments again. So yeah, if this is something that you're interested in getting, especially, given how burial costs are, given how expensive it is to take care of, loved ones after the event of your death, if that's something that you're extremely interested in, definitely reach out to your insurance agent or book a consultation so that we can discuss more, okay? So that is it. So thank you very much for coming to my webinar. Thank you. If you liked everything that you heard so far, definitely support my business by buying me a coffee. You can use the QR code scanner to scan and like support me and support my business by buying me a coffee. Now, keep in mind that this is an educational event. You are not ever obligated to buy me a coffee at all, because this is an educational event. But if you did, thank you very much. That was very helpful. And I know that your income would help me better help my clients and the clients that I would be helping in the future. So like, thank you about that. And if you have any general questions right now, definitely ask, right? Definitely ask. And let's see if there are any questions within the chat box. No, I don't see any. And if you have any personal questions, let me see if I can move my face here. Let's see if I can move my face here. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, if you have any questions here, you can definitely make an appointment with me so that you can have that time to speak with me. Like I said before, you want to use the QR code scanner to just make a scan of that, and then just book a session with me on my calendar so that you're able to see me, okay? It is there for you. It is available for you, okay? So the link, if you want to make a appointment with me, is right down below, okay? You just want to use your phone, scanner, and then just make an appointment on my calendar, okay? Either way, it was really good seeing you all. Thank you. This is a 2-hour webinar. So I will be taking a little bit of a break, a 5-minute break, and starting the whole webinar again for at least about 50 minutes or so that everybody can like see it and get the help that they need, okay? So if this is the first time that you've seen my webinar, see you. Thanks for coming. Definitely support me. If you don't want to, that's great, because you don't have to, because this is an educational event. And if you need to book a personal session with me, that is the QR code. Like I said before, if you need food assistance, you want to scan that QR code above to apply for the supplemental food program. If you need cheaper prescriptions and you're over the age of 65, you want to scan that QR code to apply for federal extra help. If you are under the age of 65, or you just need additional prescription drug cost reduction, you want to scan that QR code so that you can see what's available with you in GoodRx. Keep in mind that I will be adding another prescription drug savings program called Clever RX in the next week or so that you can cross compare those particular prescription drug savings plans, okay? And also, if you need to check your additional Medicare Advantage plans, you can use that QR code to see what's available for you. Keep in mind, you have to have original Medicare part A and B in order to look at those. And follow me on Facebook. If you haven't already followed me on Facebook, you can scan that QR code to find me and to see what I do and my websites, etc. Okay? And likewise, if you need ACA help right now and you want to check to see what policies are in your area, you want to scan that QR code so that you're able to get some help there. Okay, so we're gonna pause this for at least about 5 minutes. Gonna take a little bit of a rest, drink some water, and then we'll be back with the second webinar. Okay, don't go anywhere. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm back. Got my lovely dusty coffee this morning, and I'm back to talk again about the educational event, Health Insurance Uncovered, Your Questions Answered. I think this is my third or fourth webinar about this specific topic as well. Simply because I know that, especially getting into 2026, a lot of people will have questions and want to know about help and where to get help, right? So I completely and totally understand, and I hope that these webinars that I'm doing, even though I'm only seeing maybe one person in the live, that these webinars are going far and going wide and is helping someone, with whatever that they're going through. And it's a benefit to them, So I'm gonna have a little bit more of a drink of my coffee. And then I know I'm going to get back on. Okay. So let's go back. Yeah. I think this is it. Okay. So thank you for waiting for me. This is the second hour of Health Insurance Uncovered, Your Questions Answered. Here in this webinar, I generally am talking about the changes that you're seeing in 2026 in regards to healthcare, ACA, Medicare Advantage, prescription drug plan, etc., and how to better navigate these waters getting into 2026, okay? And obviously, this is Buy Me a Coffee. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am self-employed. This is my own business. So if you do send me a coffee, buy me a coffee, that would be greatly helpful. The QR code for Buy Me a Coffee is above if you want to. Just buying a coffee, that would help with my overhead costs, and it would help me better service my clients and be of a better service to you. You don't have to do this. This is an educational event. So if you don't want to, give a donation or buy me a coffee, you don't have to. You don't have to at all, because this is an educational event. But that would definitely help. And also, if you want to learn more about me, Crystal, the insurance broker, I'm on YouTube and Facebook. You can definitely check out my Facebook page, where you can learn more about me and about my business and my Patreon page. Okay, so let's get started. So what's my background information? I was a previous school teacher. I was a school teacher in South Korea from 2011 to 2016. And then I taught a little bit in China for about 3 months. I've done online tutoring for many major tutoring companies like Tutor ABC, Skying, Epic Online, and EducaStream. And then I went back and did another formal teaching contract in South Korea from 2019 to 2022. After I left teaching, I decided to be an insurance agent broker, and I got licensed in the state of Maryland, and I got my non-resident license in 24 other states, making it 25 states. You can see it, the states that I'm licensed in. right there. So if you don't know what states that I'm licensed in, it shows Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So those are my residents, my resident and non-resident states, okay? I do have AHIP certification. It just allows me to talk to people over the age of 65 about Medicare Advantage policies and prescription drug plans. I have my marketplace certification, so that just means that I am allowed to talk to you about marketplace insurance, okay? Likewise, if you want to know a little bit more about the policies in your area, you want to scan the QR code to check about Medicare Advantage prescription drug plans in your policy. And likewise, if you want to know a little bit more about ACA policies in your area, you want to check out this QR code to see what's available for you, okay? So the basic information. If you're over the age of 65 and you have a Medicare Advantage policy, now until December 7th is the time to check your policies and make changes, because this is the annual enrollment period. Check your insurance policies with your insurance agent to make sure that you're on the right policy for 2026. And if you're under the age of 65 and you have an ACA policy, today until December 15th is the open enrollment period, and you definitely want to check to make sure that you're on the right policy, because given what's happening in Capitol Hill right now, they don't know whether or not they're going to extend the marketplace subsidies or not. So you definitely want to check if you're in an ACA policy, marketplace policy, to see how you're able to control your cost for 2026. So you want to check with your marketplace agent or a broker to see if you're still on the right policy for 2026. Okay. So if you are on the young side and you're looking at this live webinar stream, let's start with this one first. So why should you check your ACA policy every year? Especially for this year, premiums may go up, especially if there's any changes within the subsidies within Capitol Hill, whatever they decide. Definitely for this year, the premiums could go up, and you want to make sure that you're getting on another marketplace policy that will lower your premium cost, okay? The summary of benefits could be different. What was being covered in 2025 may not be covered in 2026, so you want to check for that. The policy could have been changed without your consent. I've personally seen a couple of people, I think maybe 2 or 3, where their social security numbers were constantly being checked. So you want to definitely make sure that the policy that you signed up for, last open enrollment period, is a policy that you're under this checking for this open enrollment period as well, because things like that still do happen, okay? Your policy could have been discontinued. Your policy could have been a part of a service area reduction, and you definitely want to check with your agent or broker to see if that was the case, and then if so, putting you in a policy that is within your service area, okay? So how to lower your deductibles and copays? You want to consider getting a fixed indemnity policy which covers copays and co-insurances for hospital, surgery, and doctor's appointments. Especially getting into 2026, I feel I have to say this as a
insurance broker, I think this is one of the things that you should heavily consider getting, because you don't necessarily know where the ACA subsidy situation on Capitol Hill is going to go. You don't know. And also the points within your summary of benefits might be to a point where you might not be able to afford it, paying out of pocket like that. So it's really, 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 really important that you heavily consider getting a fixed indemnity policy, which would lower the co-insurance that you have to pay and the co-pays that you would have to pay on your policy. If you work in specific industries like construction, electrical, HVAC, you want to consider getting accident insurance. You're in a high risk position. Workers' comp may not pay out fully and fast, so you want to get accident coverage so that you're covered while you're waiting for workers' comp to kick in if you're on the job site. Okay. Also, keep in mind that some ACA policies have high deductibles, around $1,000 or more. So initially, on top of like getting the additional coverages like fixed indemnity, accident insurance, cancer, heart and stroke, etc., you want to see if you can try to lessen that financial responsibility within ACA itself, and choosing a policy that may have a slightly higher premium, but would lower the deductible, copay, and cost share for you. Okay, that's another trick that you can do to kind of help lower cost. So say, for instance, the worst happens, right? And the ACA subsidies are not renewed by Congress. And then on top of that, there's cuts to Medicaid and the situation that's happening with SNAP, okay? So what do we do if that happens? So what do you do if you lose your state Medicaid? Well, first, if you have Medicare and you were on Medicaid and had something like a dual special needs plan, this is for people who are over the age of 65 or had a disability that qualified them for Medicare and had both Medicare and Medicaid together, then for this season, you want to consider enrolling into a Medicare Advantage Part B Give Back plan. What that would do is that plan would help keep your Medicare Part B premium costs down. What a Part B premium give back plan does is that the carrier would get in contact with the Social Security Administration to pay a portion of your Medicare Part B premium. As of 2026, this premium could be going up to $206. So when you enroll in that type of policy, then that carrier on your behalf would speak to the Social Security Administration to say that your Part B premium would be lessened by this amount. And then you would see that those savings in your personal, account or your Social Security check. So when you get that type of savings put back into your account or Social Security check, you can use that income to then get a hospital indemnity policy to lower hospital and surgery copays. Hospital indemnity and fixed indemnity are generally the same because these are indemnity policies. That means that the insurance carrier pays you for your medical services, right? You would get in contact with the carrier. You would have to fill out a claim form, attach the bill, the medical bill for services, give that back to the insurance carrier, and then the insurance carrier would pay you to pay for those gaps in the insurance that you would have to pay out of pocket for. Fixed indemnity has a lot more coverage than hospital indemnity. Hospital indemnity technically only covers hospital in-pay outpatient surgery, ambulance. You definitely want to check the brochure that your agent or broker shows you so that you can see what's being offered there. But the fixed indemnity coverage covers typically inpatient hospital copay, outpatient hospital copay like surgeries, but then also covers doctor's visits and also would cover prescriptions and insurance carriers. So you want to check with your insurance broker to see what is being covered there. But typically, a fixed indemnity policy covers more than a hospital. And if you're under the age of 65 and you lose your state Medicaid, you can apply for a fixed indemnity policy because that's kind of standard. Fixed indemnity policy premiums typically go around like $40 to $60. Hospital indemnity policies tend to go around like $30 to $50 or $60. But like I said before, fixed indemnity policies provide income for a wide range of medical costs. So it would be a good idea to look at them further with your agent or broker. And then if income is an issue, there are other products you can use like membership savings cards or health savings accounts. There are certain carriers that do offer membership cards for discounted medical services, as well as there are other agents or brokers who would offer health savings accounts, so to where you could pay into an account and get those services at a lesser cost. Okay. So even if you don't have like $50 or $60 to pay per month, there are still other options that you can use, like membership savings cards or health savings accounts. You would just have to speak to your agent or broker to see what is available for you. Okay. And also keep in mind that if you have like any problem with food insecurity and you're over the 60, you want to scan the code in the upper left-hand corner for food, and that is and that link will take you to apply to the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. Definitely apply, especially if you're having food insecurity now, so that you're able to feed yourself and to feed your family, okay? That's always there. It's always there. So if you're having problems eating right now and you're over the age of 60, scan the QR code in the upper left-hand corner to get to apply for the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. It is there. It is there for you, okay? So now let's get into the Medicare side of things and the Part C changes in 2026 and how to get prescription drug help. Okay. So in Medicare Advantage prescription drug land, what we're seeing is an area shrinkage where a carrier would service many zip codes in an area. They're not serving as many. So if you are part of an area shrinkage and your policy is not being offered in your area anymore, you want to talk to your agent or broker so that they can find a new policy in your area that works with your specific needs, okay? Also, what we're seeing in 2026 in regards to Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plan, lessening Part B reduction policies, they still exist. There are certain carriers that offer at least $100 in Part B reduction, going all the way up to $184.70 for reduction. But this is in specific zip codes throughout the country. So if you are looking to get on a Part B give back Part B reduction policy, you want to talk with your agent or broker to see what's in your area. But are there less Part B give back policies being offered? Yes, there are. If we're starting to see medical deductibles Back in 2025, I didn't see medical deductibles. I didn't see them, hardly. I saw them in like maybe like a couple of policies, but not a lot. So now we're starting to see a lot more policies that have medical deductibles ranging from as low as maybe $375 and then as high as like maybe $750. I think I'm starting to see them on average for $500 for medical deductibles and insurance Medicare Advantage policies in 2026. So if you are going to look at different policies, you definitely want to talk with your insurance agent or broker to see what the changes are in medical deductibles, or if you will have a medical deductible in 2026. Low dental benefits, from preventative dental to comprehensive coverage up to $1,500. Yeah, back in 2025, like earlier this year, start of this year, I saw dental policies average comprehensive dental preventative benefit level of like $2,000 to $2,500. And this is for those policies that are general Medicare Advantage prescription drug policies, not the dual Medicare Medicaid policies or the chronic condition Medicare Advantage policies. But now it's only no more than like $1,500 or just preventative dental at all. And what preventative dental covers is just cleanings, and in some policies, scalings, periodontal maintenance, okay? So if you are a person that needs to get something major done, like get extractions, fillings, crowns, bridges, dentures, fixed dentures, or implants, you want to consider getting a standalone dental policy getting into 2026. And also what we're seeing for policies on the Medicare Advantage prescription drug side is that on the Medicare Advantage side, we're not seeing a lot of non-routine transportation. It used to be that these policies did have non-routine transportation, but now we're not seeing a lot of it. So if you are looking to change your policy, you definitely need to be aware that there may not be non-routine transportation on your policy if you are thinking of changing. Also, keep in mind that if you do need that type of service, you can definitely look into reaching out to your local senior center in your county so that they can help you. Senior centers typically give help for meals through Meals on Wheels, non-routine transportation, and then other services for us senior citizens, right? So if you don't see non-routine transportation on your policy getting into 2026, you can definitely check your county senior center to see if those services are being offered to you, okay? And also what we're seeing in Medicare Advantage policies is that there's not a lot of OTC benefits. So if you need that additional coverage, as well, you can definitely check with your local senior center to see if they have those types of goods and services for you as well, okay? So what to do to protect yourself from these changes? You want to definitely reach out to your local agent or broker to see where you are in this and how to better protect you getting into 2026, right? So definitely reach out to your insurance agent for any updates regarding your plan, right? And you definitely want to have a meeting to make sure that it meets your needs in 2026, because there's such changes. It's so volatile this coming year. You also, if you are on a policy that doesn't have comprehensive dental, you want to get a standalone dental policy if your plan doesn't offer comprehensive coverage. Now, keep in mind, a standalone dental policy may be like around $30 all the way up to like $50, $60. But if that's something that you need to have done, like there's something massive happening, you want to consider getting a standalone policy so that you're able to take care of that, okay? And like I said before, use senior centers, access to food help, routine transportation, and other social services for seniors. Your county has a senior center. You're gonna have to do a Google search and find their phone number, but yeah, your county has a senior center, and they do offer, more often than not, meals through Meals on Wheels, non-routine transportation, and other social services as well. Okay. And if you're having food insecurity right now and you're over the age of 60, you definitely want to scan the QR code in the upper left-hand corner of the screen and apply for the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. It's there for you. You know, you don't have to go hungry. It's there for you. Scan the QR code and apply. Apply today. Apply today so that you can have some food. So where to go to get prescription drug help? So if you're over the age of 60 and you need to lessen your prescription drugs, you want to scan the QR code on the upper left-hand corner of the screen and apply for federal extra help. What federal extra help does is that it caps prescription drugs at $5 and some change for generic drugs and $12 and some change for branded drugs, okay? So you want to scan the QR code and put in the application to apply for federal extra help. It is there for you. It's a government assistance program, okay? And you can also use GoodRx if you're still having prescription drug cost issues. You can scan the QR code and put in your zip code to see if GoodRx can save you some additional funds on that prescription. One of my colleagues named Matt also told me about CleverRx, which I was able to get set up with. So in the next webinar, maybe I'll have that information to show to you about CleverRx so that you can cross compare GoodRx and CleverRx to see which prescription savings scheme works best for you. This is also for those who are under the age of 65. If you're having prescription drug costs, you can use GoodRx, and then when I get more information, CleverRx as well to cross compare. And also you can ask your doctor for prescription manufacturer's coupons on either side of the fence, over 65 and under 65. If a prescription is just too darn expensive, you can ask your doctor for manufacturer's coupons, or you can ask your doctor for a formulary exception. I'll say this one more time, a formulary exception. What that does is that if it's a real serious drug that you need to have is to keep you alive, you know, your primary care physician or doctor that prescribes that specific prescription can give an email or call the insurance carrier and ask for a formulary exception so that you can get that prescription at cost. That's something that your doctor is able to do. So they're able to give formulary exceptions and they're able to give out manufacturer's coupons. They are able to do two things. So if you're over the age of 60 and you applied for federal extra help and it's not working, if you are over and under the age of 65 and you use GoodRx or CleverRx and it's not giving you as much savings for this specific drug that you need, or a couple specific drugs that you need, definitely get in contact with your primary care physician and ask for manufacturer's coupons of that prescription or a formulary exception for that prescription so that you can get your prescription drugs at cost. Okay? And then what else? What's going on? Where has all the dental gone? We need to know. Why is it that dental isn't here anymore and getting into 2026? Well, for Medicare Advantage policies in this year, dental vision and hearing is still there, but dental has taken a drastic hit in 2026. I don't really know why I'm only on the marketing side of things and the writing side of things as an agent broker. But yeah, just in this year, it's just, I'm not seeing it in all of the states that I'm licensed in. I'm not seeing it. I'm really not seeing it. I'm not saying comprehensive dental. No, I'm saying preventative dental, but I'm not saying comprehensive dental. So if you're on a Medicare Advantage policy and need comprehensive dental coverage, it'll be a good idea to get a standalone dental policy, especially if you're needing to get extractions, crowns, fillings, any other type of oral surgery, bridges, fixed dentures, or if you need to get complete dentures, dental implants. Yeah, it's a good idea to get a standalone dental policy. Standalone dental policies range from around $30 to $60. So you definitely want to talk with your insurance agent or broker to see which standalone dental policy is right for you. Okay. And like I said, standalone dental policies cover dental implants. So if you're that type, you've used complete dentures and Fixodent isn't working, the dentures are uncomfortable in your mouth, then you can use a standalone dental policy to get dental implants. You definitely want to check with your insurance agent or broker to see what percentage would be covered for dental implants and make a strategy. Okay. For ACA policies, marketplace policies, getting dental, vision, and hearing coverage is a good idea, as those additional coverages are not covered in most ACA policies. Yeah, for you and your family, if you need to get your teeth checked and taken care of, yeah, getting a standalone dental policy as well as vision coverages is necessary. You know, you don't want to not get those. You know, especially if there's something that you need to do or your children need to have done. You know, definitely want to check with your insurance agent or broker to see what that income is and how much it would be per premium. Okay. So being called, what is the TCP Act, scope of appointment, etc. We're gonna discuss, you know, all the calls that you get on your phone, right? So why are you being called for insurance all the darn time? Why? Well, you're most likely being called by call centers due to you either clicking on an advertisement and filling out a form to contact later from one advertisement. The place where you filled out the form shared your information with their affiliates, in which that affiliate shared your information with their affiliates. Is it legal? Yeah, it is. What's going to make this illegal was the one-to-one rule that was passed by CMS this year, but then it was backed off, you know, because I'm guessing insurance carriers and agents, brokers knew that if you filled out a form, you would have to fill out a form for your agent, your broker, that insurance agency. So you would have had to fill out multiple forms and given your agreement to those forms. So I think they probably thought that that was illogical. And so the one-to-one rule wasn't enforced. And then it just went back to basic TCPA. Is it legal? Yeah. If you filled out a form with your phone number that you logged in the do not call list, then that entity that you filled out that form with, they have the right to call you on that phone number for at least 3 months. Yeah, it is extremely true. You can do a Google search. You can Google search it. You can Google exactly what I'm saying, and it'll pop up and say, yeah, it is true. And then also when you go on websites, they specifically ask about your privacy and agreement to share data. I tried to find that pop-up the last webinar about maybe a couple of minutes ago, just to show you what that pop-up looks like. But I'm not seeing it. I mean, maybe it's because I like to go to a lot of places and like see a lot of places, but no, I'm not actually seeing the pop-up. So what the pop-up looks like is it says, we value your privacy, or privacy statement. And then it says either at the bottom, accept all or manage cookies. So if you accept all, then you're technically allowing them to get your specific logging data or specific search data about you, your age, what you like to search for, general information about you, etc. So yeah. And that's, legal because of updated privacy rules for each website that you go to. Yeah. So what is the TCPA Act and what does it do? Well, the general information on the TCPA Act is, which the TCPA Act was enacted in the mid-90s, is that a person cannot call before 8 a.m. and after 9 p.m. your local time. So if they call you before 8 a.m. or they call you after 9 p.m., you can talk to the Federal Trade Commission about that, and that person or business will be in trouble. If you list your number as DNC, they can't call you. But if you fill out a lead form and you use that do not call number that you have registered as a do not call, then yeah, they can call you on that do not call number for at least 3 months. Just so you know. You can't be robocalled or given automatic messages. That's a given. So what are licensed agents and brokers supposed to do? Well, licensed agents are supposed to state their name, their title, that the call is being recorded, and a third-party marketing disclaimer if you're over the 65, and this is going to be like a Medicare Advantage call. So it says, please keep in mind that as a licensed Medicare insurance agent, I do not offer every plan available in your area. Currently, I represent XX organizations, which offers XX products in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov, 1-800-Medicare, or your local state health insurance program to get information on all of your options. A licensed agent and broker have to say this within like a couple of minutes, or else we would be in trouble. We have to state who we are. We have to state that the call is being recorded, and the third-party marketing disclaimer that you see here. Now, also, we agents and brokers have to state the scope of appointment to you or a CMS agreement if you're getting an ACA policy. Now, if you agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement, then we would have to obtain your Medicare ID number or Social Security number in order to complete your enrollment. I will say this, and it hasn't happened to me as much, But when it happens, it happens. I think maybe in every single season, I think I may get maybe four or five people that are apprehensive about giving out their personal identifying information, typically because they were a victim of a scam or fraud. And so they don't know who they're talking to and whether or not this is legal or not. If you're dealing with someone over the phone and they said everything that they said above, right? Their name, that the call is being recorded, the third-party marketing disclaimer, that read the scope of appointment, that means they're generally licensed, right? And as a licensed agent or broker, they have to have your Medicare ID number, they have to have your social security number, so that they're able to do their job and find the right policy, well, the most beneficial policy for you in your market, right? So they have to get this information. And also, if you're getting an additional policy like dental or something else, they are required to get your credit debit card information or your banking or routing number to finalize purchase of said policy. Because we're licensed, like we have a fiduciary responsibility for our clients and for our potential clients. We're licensed, like we have a national producer number. We have license numbers for each state that we're licensed in. So we cannot just be running off with your information like I got your information, I'm gonna run off, right? No. We would be getting in so much trouble, and then we would be risking not only our reputation, but our licenses and our certifications. We have to have these informations in order to process what you need to have. But also, if you're just that tight and you don't feel comfortable and giving out your information, you can look up this information and apply on your own, with the QR code right there for ACA help, or the QR code above in the upper left-hand corner for Medicare Advantage policy. So if you're uncomfortable in talking to, an agent or broker, and you just want to have your own time to do it, and you want to talk to your family members and make your own decisions, you can use the QR codes and go to those links and look at those policies, look at the summary of benefits on those policies, and make your own decisions with your family in mind. And that discussion, that is completely and totally fine. Okay. So what is the scope of appointment and or CMS agreement? The scope of appointment and CMS agreement needed to write additional products or ACA policies are agreements where the agent disclose what will be discussed during the sales meeting or what will be completed during the sales meeting under a CMS agreement, what their roles are in the meeting, and how you don't have to agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement. What these agreements do is that it gives us agents and brokers the ability to not only tell you more about the policies that you're under, and so that you can make a informed decision about what it is that you want to do health-wise getting into 2026, or for that remainder of the year 2026. But it also gives us the opportunity to tell you about what all of your options are and talk to you specifically about carrier products and services that are available to you. Without the scope of appointment and or CMS agreement, we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say that at all. If you don't agree to either the scope of appointment and or CMS agreement, we cannot tell you anything of that, because then it would be considered like we're trying to sell you or market you something
And that would be in a violation of our AHIP certification or in violation of CMS. So, like if you're confused about that, I understand. But if you want to do it yourself, DIY, you're over the age of 65, you can scan the QR code and see what's available to you. And if you're under the age of 65, you can scan the QR code there on the right for ACA help and see what's available for you, so that you don't not get the services that you're looking for, right? Now, like I said before, like these agreements, like the scope of appointment and or CMS agreement, is necessary before any health insurance sale is completed. Like we have to have those agreements within the form that we submit to the carrier, making it a legal policy application. Okay. So the final thing, what is final expense? What are the benefits and who's accepted? Everybody's accepted. Everybody's accepted. I'll just say that. So what is final expense and what are the benefits? Well, final expense is a life insurance policy which covers a funeral while being able to offer a cash value to the policyholder. It offers financial relief. It protects family from high funeral and burial costs. Easy to qualify. No medical exam required, simplifying approval for seniors and those with health issues. Guaranteed coverage. Premiums are fixed and coverage is lifetime as long as the payments are made. Flexible payout. Funds go directly to the beneficiary and can be used for any final expense like medical bills, debt, or funeral. Peace of mind. Provides immediate cash to loved ones when they need it most. Well, the cool thing about final expense is that it's a lesser premium cost permanent life insurance, like whole life or universal life. It's at a lesser price point. You can get a final expense policy as low as $17. Or you can get a final expense policy as high as like maybe $150, maybe $180, And what I like about this is that because it's at a lower price point, it opens up a life insurance policy to people who wouldn't even have thought about getting a life insurance policy to help with their burial costs, their funeral arrangements, and then helping out with their loved ones to pay for things while they were gone. But here's the kicker. What I think is really cool about these particular types of policies is that they offer cash value in the policy. After 3 years, if you make consistent payments, you have a little bit of money in the account that you can borrow for like anything that you need. And it's not subjected to a credit check or an income check. So for me, I had a State Farm life insurance policy. And I had my State Farm life insurance policy for about 3 to 5 years. And I was able to borrow against my State Farm life insurance policy, like around $3,000 for my needs, and then around 2021 and then 2022. So if you get a final expense policy, not only would you be taking care of the burial and the funeral costs, but you also would have that cash value available after 3 years to where you really need the income, you can borrow and get like your emergency bills and things covered. So that's one of the cool things about final expense that not a lot of people know about. That's at a lesser price point for people who need that type of coverage, okay? So if you're interested in learning more about these types of policies, contact your insurance agent or book a consultation, okay? So thank you so much for coming to my webinar. Thank you.
Like I said before, if you want to support me, great. Support me by buying a coffee. You can scan the QR code and buy me a coffee. But keep in mind that this is an educational event, so that you're not obligated to do this. But it's really helpful because it helps me with my overhead costs, and it will help me better service my current clients and my future clients and my business. So if you do buy me a coffee, cool, awesome. You are amazing. If you have any general questions, you can ask me this now. Keep in mind, because this is a educational event, you cannot talk about carrier specific problems, right? It's very, 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 very general. Let me see if there are any chats here. Nope, I don't see any chats here. So if you have any personal questions that you want me to answer, you want to scan that other QR code down below to make an appointment with me on my calendar so that I can better assist you, okay? Let me see if I can do it on my phone. Scanning the QR code so that you can book an appointment with me, okay? So if you need to do that, that is available, okay? Let me see if I can do it in a different way so that you're able to see it a little bit better. There you go. So if you need to book an appointment with me, you can scan this QR code and book an appointment. Let's see if I can do this a little bit better for you. Let's see. Give you a little bit more ability to see it. There you go. Oh, yep. I was able to pull it up on my side. The QR there, right? So that you're able to book an appointment with me if you need to speak with me, okay? So just going over a couple of, QR codes. If you need to get a Part C or looking for those and you haven't spoken to your agent or broker, you can scan the QR code at the top left of your corner. If you're over the age of 65 and you need food assistance, you can scan the QR code at the top left part of your screen so that you can apply for the commodity supplemental food program. If you need cheaper prescription drugs, you can scan the QR code to check out what's available at GoodRx. Also keep in mind, in the next couple of webinars, I should have another prescription savings coverage called CleverRx that you can cross compare GoodRx and CleverRx to see which one works best for you. So this is for federal extra help if you need to apply. And then this one is for GoodRx if you need it, okay? So I'll just go over that again. So if you need to apply for lower cost prescription drugs and you're over the age of 65, click on scan that QR code so that you can apply for federal extra help. That would lower your cost down to $5 and some change for generic drugs and $12 and some change for branded drugs. So that's a good resource to look into. So you want to scan the QR code there. And if you need prescription drug help in your in between under the age of 65, or you just need additional help, you could scan that QR code for that. Our Clever RX's information will be up on like the next 2 webinars. So do keep a lookout for that. And definitely, if you want to know more about me, follow me on Facebook. Scan the QR code and follow me on Facebook. You can also follow me on YouTube by my name, Crystal, the insurance broker. Here, right? So that you're able to see me and learn more about all things in life insurance, okay? And also, if you need Affordable Care Act help and searching for something, you can definitely scan that QR code so that you can see what's available in your area. So that is it. Well, like I said, it was such a pleasure to hear from all of you guys. It was such a pleasure. It was nice seeing you. And of course, I'll be doing these webinars Wednesdays and Saturdays, just so that you can kind of get the word out, okay? So just keep in mind, Wednesdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to like 12 p.m., you should be seeing me, okay? And also keep in mind that open season for insurance is here. Over 65, under 65, open insurance season is here. You need help, if you need assistance, if you don't know, Part C is right there. Part ACA, Marketplace is right there. Check, check, check. Talk to your insurance agent, figure out what's working, what would work for you. Definitely take a look at fixed indemnity policies, hospital indemnity policies to hedge your bets, getting into the Affordable Care Act, Marketplace, subsidy, no subsidy situation. And if all else fails, and if you're hungry and you're over the age of 16, the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, apply. You deserve this. You need to feed yourself. You need to feed your families. Apply for the Commodity Supplemental Food Service now. There's the QR code, scan it, apply, okay? So that's it. It was such a lovely time seeing you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I will see you in the next webinar. Talk to you soon. Bye.